Hey guys, it's time for another episode of 5 original designer and niche scents and 10 of their cheaper alternatives. In this series of videos I'm basically showing you 2 alternatives for every original designer and niche scent that I'm featuring in this video. But before I do, you know that I'm George, the nice medic gentleman, and it's time for your daily dose of some fragrance content. Let's start with 2 alternatives, clones or alternatives for a very interesting and famous scent that comes from the brand of Louis Vuitton, and it's called Afternoon Swim. It's a very fresh, very laid back, very chill fragrance that's great for warm weather. But just like any other fragrance from the brand of Louis Vuitton, it's quite expensive. So I'm going to give you 2 great alternatives. Now the first one comes from the brand of Paris Corner and definitely feels more like an alternative rather than a straight up clone. It's part of the Nordstock Expressions line and it's called Quatre. And I absolutely love this fragrance for what it is. Basically, if you are familiar with Afternoon Swim, you can think of Afternoon Swim but with a heavy kick of citruses. Basically, this has a strong orange note, it has a lot more citruses than the original fragrance. This is just a fresher, just a more laid back, more summery, more enjoyable for me personally version of the original scent DNA. Offers really nice quality. All fragrances from the Nordstock Expression line actually have a pretty good quality, and the Nordstock Quatre actually makes no difference, and I really love this thing. Especially the opening is absolutely fantastic. Smells very masculine, smells very fresh, smells of very high quality. And the great thing about this fragrance, the few great things about this fragrance are that first of all, this is just cost a fraction of the price of the original scent. The second is that the quality is really nice. There's no syntheticness in the opening of this one. And the third thing is that really this also has pretty decent performance considering how fresh of a scent it actually is. And I'm a really big fan of Quatre, and it's one of my most favorite fragrances from the brand of Paris Corner. The second option, the second alternative that I'm going to give you comes from the brand of French Avenue, and it's part of the Pinus line, and it's called Orin. And this one feels more like a clone of Afternoon Swim. This still retains a lot of the freshness from the original fragrance and of the freshness of Quatre, but this feels a little bit less fresh in the opening, feels a little bit less citrusy. This has a stronger ginger note compared to Quatre. This also has more muskiness in it, and definitely this feels closer to the original scent. So you can think of this one being more of a straight up clone, whereas Quatre feels more like an alternative. But Orin also offers really nice quality. It also offers really good performance. It will get you closer to the original scent, and also, to my nose, this has a slightly more of a mature vibe compared to Quatre, which feels a little bit more youthful because of its freshness. But both of them actually are really nice. The next original scent that I'm going to give you 2 alternatives for is a classic one, something that's very masculine, very popular, and very well known. And of course, I'm talking about Bleu de Chanel, and to be more specific, Bleu de Chanel EDT. Now, the first option, the first alternative that I'm going to give you is exactly that. It's more of an alternative rather than a straight up clone. It comes from the brand of Afnan, and it's called 9 AM Dive. And this has a pretty similar opening to Bleu de Chanel, but the dry down is a little bit different. This lacks some of the woodiness of the original scent. This is all around like a fresher take from the opening to the dry down. So again, it's not a straight up clone. This is more like an alternative, more like something done in a similar style of perfumery, but actually offers really nice quality, just as you would expect from something from the brand of Afnan. It's a very masculine fragrance that's very easy to wear, that's very versatile, that can be worn pretty much all year round. You can wear this one wherever you want, in the office, in the gym, on a date. Really nice masculine fragrance that again offers also very nice performance. It's not super strong, but definitely is at least as strong as you'll get from something like Bleu de Chanel EDT. And in fact, in my opinion and in my experience, this also offers better projection than Bleu de Chanel, while at the same time costing like a quarter or a fifth of the price of the original. So this is a great alternative, but not a clone. The next one comes from the brand of Ahmed Al Maghribi, and it's called Simply Blue. This feels more like a clone, but again not a straight up clone, because this has its own a bit of a twist. this feels more spicy in the opening compared to Bleu de Chanel. So you can think of this one as being more like a Middle Eastern take on the Bleu de Chanel scent. But again, just like 9 AM Dive, just like the original scent, this is a very masculine, very versatile scent that can be worn pretty much all year round. You know, works in any type of environment. This though feels a little bit sweeter than 9 AM Dive and feels a little bit closer to Bleu de Chanel, but again, not a straight up clone. The next portion of the video is dedicated for clones or alternatives of Jean Paul Gaultier fragrances. And I'm going to start with one original scent that a few months ago I thought that we've seen all the clones that will come out for that original scent. The original scent is called Ultra Male, and it's really nice fragrance that I've liked since day one, since it was released. We've seen a lot of good clones over the past few years, and at one point in time I decided that we've seen enough of them, that there won't be any new good clones of Ultra Male. But boy was I mistaken, because firstly Armaf released a new clone of Ultra Male that's called Odyssey Spectra. It's part of the Odyssey line. And I was really surprised by this one, by the quality, the performance, the scent of everything, like very pleasantly surprised. And then another new clone came out, which surprised me even more. But first, let's talk about Spectra. Now, Spectra, again, just like some of the other things that I've shown you in today's video, this feels more like a twist, more like an alternative rather than a straight up clone, because this actually smells a little bit closer to a clone of Ultra Male, which is called 9 PM. It comes from the brand of Afnan, because this also uses the very same apple note in the opening, which feels a little bit fresher, a little bit less sweet than what you'll get from Ultra Male, where you'll find a pure note. And on the dry down, this becomes just a little bit more serious, slightly darker, slightly more mature, because it has a tobacco note. But really, in the air, smells very similar to Ultra Male and 9 PM from Afnan. Really nice quality, great performance, and all that for a very affordable price. This is quite a bit cheaper than 9 PM, at least around here where I live. But if you want something that will smell a little bit closer to Ultra Male, then there's the next great clone that came out just a little bit after Spectra. It came from the brand of Rayhaan, and it's called Rayhaan Lion. And this in fact surprised me even more than Spectra. At a certain point in time at the end of last year, I was really digging Spectra, and then I got my nose to Lion, and I almost forgot about Spectra, because Lion, again, is a straight up clone of Ultra Male. It will get you that sweet pure note, it will get you that bubbleness from the original fragrance, and in my opinion this offers a slightly better quality than Odyssey Spectra, and also offers better performance than Spectra. And keep in mind that Spectra is already a very strong fragrance, very long lasting scent, but Lion just takes it to the next level. It lasts longer, it projects better, and it is an absolutely fantastic release from the brand of Rayhaan at the moment. Probably my most favorite clone, along with 9 PM from Afnan. And the second Jean Paul Gaultier fragrance that is appearing in today's video, that I'm going to show you two alternatives or clones for, is Male Elixir. Now, Male Elixir is a very popular fragrance right now, and more brands are coming with their own versions, their own clones of Male Elixir. And in the past couple of months, I've got my hands on two very good clones, probably the two best clones of Male Elixir that you can currently get. They come from Armaf and Fragrance World, and I'm going to start with the one from Fragrance World simply because I got that one first. It's called Urban Man Elixir, which is a funny name because Armaf also have a fragrance that's called that goes by the very same name but smells totally different. Urban Man Elixir is actually a very good clone of Male Elixir. Smells very similar. It will get you almost identical scent-wise to the original fragrance. The vanillic sweetness, the minty freshness, some of the spiciness, that cardamom that you get out of the original fragrance, the ambery sweetness, the honey sweetness, the tobacco note, everything feels almost identical to the original one, and also offers very good performance. Not exactly as beastly as Male Elixir, but getting very close performance wise as well. And really, this is an absolutely great fragrance. If I have to point one small difference between this and the original scent, I would say that you know, Ultra Urban Man Elixir, excuse me, feels a little bit more vanillic rather than feeling a little bit more, having an emphasis on that honey note. But other than that, it's superb and super close. And then I got my nose and my hands on a bottle of this bad boy, Lionheart from Armaf, Club de Nuit Lionheart. And this is also like smells like very similar to the original fragrance, and really I can't believe how good clones nowadays the Middle Eastern brands are making. This again will get you exactly the same notes as the original fragrance, but to my nose this feels ever so slightly more spicy than the original scent. Other than that, again, in the air smells pretty much identical. Both of them offer superb performance, almost as beastly as the original. Both of them offer superb quality, great projection, great complement factor, and actually in this case it's really hard for me to point out which one should you choose. I would say just go with the one that you can find cheaper. Both of them are absolutely fantastic. And I'm going to finish off this video with another very popular scent profile that I'm going to give you two alternatives for, and that original scent is Creed Aventus Absolute. So basically this is the Creed Aventus DNA, which is so liked, so universally liked, such a crowd pleaser, but in the Absolute flanker it's a little bit sweeter than the more fresher the original scent. And I'm going to give you two alternatives now. Both of them don't feel like an exact straight up one-to-one clones, but both of them can serve the same purpose as the original fragrance. The first one comes from the brand of Afnan and it's called Supremacy Collector's Edition. And this is like a more pineapple-y take on the original scent, but smelling again pretty similar. You'll get some of that woodiness, you'll get some of the freshness, a hint of the freshness, some of the sweetness of the original scent, but this is basically a little bit more fruity, maybe ever so slightly how to call it, sweeter than the original fragrance. But it's a crowd-pleasing scent that's very versatile, very masculine, very easy to wear, can be worn pretty much all year round, and offers great quality as you would expect again from the brand of Afnan, and also offers really nice performance. Not a beast, but definitely a very strong fragrance that keeps improving over time since I got this one a few months ago. But if you want to get something that feels maybe a hint closer to the original scent, and you like the brand of Armaf, then you can go with something like Club de Nuit Precious. Now this one feels a little bit fresher than Afnan, the Afnan Collector's Edition, Supremacy Collector's Edition. This feels a little bit more smoky, and also definitely feels a little bit fresher. But still, and again, still not a one-to-one clone to Aventus Absolute, but definitely will get you smelling close to the original scent. And again, you'll get great quality. In fact, this probably is the highest quality member of the Club de Nuit line of fragrances from Armaf, which are cloning Creed Aventus, the Creed Aventus scent profile. It offers great performance, great projection, super high versatile factor. In fact, this is probably even more versatile than the Afnan offering. The only problem with the offering from Armaf is the fact that it comes in a 55 milliliter bottle size, whereas the Afnan is 100 milliliters. Other than that, this is great value for money, and it's a crowd-pleasing scent that will get you compliments. So guys, this was it for yet another episode of 5 original designer and niche scents and 10 of their cheaper alternatives. I hope that you found this video interesting or helpful. If you did, give it a like, and I also hope that you're going to join me tomorrow for your daily dose of some fragrance content. And until then, stay safe and bye bye.